Second category, those that don't degrade in soil in Iowa. I have to keep saying that. But are degradable in compost. And this one is based off of our results and information and publications, because we haven't composted any of these yet. We're going to do some trials starting in a month or two, where we'll do it in normal home composting type experiments. And then we'll also have more standardized lab biodegradation trials that we'll be starting. But in this category, I put the TerraShell at the top because, not because it has an extra function, but that it's already available and it grows plants just like any other thermoformed container, but it doesn't degrade in the soil fast enough. The PLA with protein from Aspen Research, a little bit slower than the 50/50, and the PLA soy at 67-33 and other blends and percentages. If we're not willing to say that 50/50 soy could be considered biodegradable in the soil, then that would also have to go here, because PLA is degradable in compost. PLA, soy, and DDGs, PHA with starch, didn't degrade too well in the soil, but is definitely degradable in compost, and PHA without any composite filler. And category 3, again, based on both our trials and information and publications, PLA with lignin at the top. The container's spotless after you grow a plant in it. It's just as durable as petroleum plastic. Recycled PLA, a little bit heavier than the PLA with lignin, but it is available, and it's quite inexpensive right now. PLA with polyamide blends, those we've talked about quite a bit, because we're going to need to get some flexibility, especially in the nursery containers, and we may need to include a percentage of polyamide, even though it's kind of expensive. And PLA without biocomposite filler, so even the virgin PLA would fit in this category. Just quickly, a few pictures of containers in those categories. Here's the top pick for biodegradable in soil, and you can see them back there on the table too. Containers with an additional function, at least considered compostable. And containers that require no change in cultural practices, and that's our top pick there. So here's our tentative containers for round 3. This list will probably change, so I may not even say them out loud. But we got a lot of really good input today, things that we may adjust this list with. Here's our collaborators up until now that have helped us a great deal to get through the first 2 rounds of our development. Listed in the order that they kind of joined the team. Metabolics provided all of the PHA. Arizona Chemical provided all of the polyamide so far. R&D Leverage made the first prototype mold and processed that, injection molded that for us in their small job shop that they have there. Aspen Research came to our conference last year and fell in love with the project and provided 6 materials. You didn't get to see data on all of those, but that was mainly because our gallon mold wasn't what we hoped it would be. Mid-Continent Tool and Die did our injection molding the second year. Laurel Biocomposites is one of the newest on the materials side, and we're already have received some samples of their modified DDGs that's called BioRes, right? BioRes, and a few of their containers are on the far right at that end of that table. We haven't gotten to evaluate those yet, but it was one of the components with the PHA that we saw a fertilizer effect with PHA composites, but it made that material degrade too fast. I mean, PHA degrades anyway, and we don't even know what the percentage they blended that. So Laurel Biocomposites is providing a series of percentages that we'll do trials on just as soon as we get the containers. And Vistatech is a mold maker and injection molder in Stillwater, Minnesota, and they will be in partnership with Aspen Research and NatureWorks. They'll be the first ones to make PLA containers from formulations that we have done in our project. So the hope is that they may actually be commercially available pretty soon. And NatureWorks, again, on board with Vistatech and Aspen Research. We're looking for additional collaborators, and I think I already probably talked to the container makers that were here, and we're going to be moving forward with planning that part of the project. These are the third round container manufacturing collaborations with the injection molding of 5 materials. The 6th one will be the polyurethane coated paper fiber of both sizes. And then we'll be looking for up to 20 greenhouse and 20 nursery growers to do trials with containers made on the manufacturer's equipment. Hopefully we can solve any issues with production of those containers, and our numbers of containers will be quite high so that we can distribute those, help guide the people who are going to do the evaluations so we can harvest that information and put it in with a real world application.
What year is that?
I think the timeline is in there.
I don't think it's this year, I think it's next year.
Right. It's longer because we each of the first years we kind of were on the borderline of getting the experiments set up in the greenhouse, and we wanted to make sure the growers could get the containers in time the year after making them so that they could grow them at the same time as everything else. So there is actually an extra year in between here.
March 2015.
Yeah, so that's when the containers would be available.
But this year we will have as cooperators or whatever.
Right, to make the containers, and then tentatively at March 2015 we would have those distributed to growers so they could get ready to grow plants in them. It could be sooner if we solve problems faster. I'm not willing for it to be any longer than that. So are any of the containers available now? We've already pretty much covered that. The TerraShell pot is available. The uncoated fiber containers of several types are available. You have the issue with water use efficiency and durability, but those are out there. And then available soon is that 4.5-inch PLA-based injection molded containers through this collaboration with Vistatech, Aspen Research, and NatureWorks. They haven't quite decided which formulations they're going to do, but they're building the mold right now, and it'll be industrial level, but it'll be a job shop level. It won't be full production level containers in their facility. So I guess I'll take any questions and we can move right into the discussion part if you'd like.